Hello there and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really fantastic book by Zoe Chance called Influence Is Your Superpower. So, what we're going to do is unpack the science behind making good things happen and give you some real practical tools you can start using in your own life, like right away. Right off the bat, the book tackles this huge misunderstanding we all seem to have. A lot of us think of influence as some kind of weapon, something you use on people. But Chance flips that completely on its head. Real influence, the good kind, isn't about forcing anyone's hand. It's about building genuine connections to create positive change. I mean, it's something we all want, isn't it? Whether you're at the office, at home with your family, or out in your community, we all want to make a difference. We want our ideas to be heard and to move people in a good way. But here's the problem, that icky feeling. The second you hear the words influence tactics, what pops into your head? For most of us, it's some pushy, sleazy salesperson, yeah? And nobody wants to be that person. This is the exact conflict the book is here to solve. And that right there brings us to what the book calls the influence paradox. It's this weird situation where we all desperately want the results of being influential, but we can't stand the thought of using the very methods we think will get us there. The author actually did a survey on this, and wow, the results were something else. Pretty much everyone said they wanted to be influential. But when asked to describe the methods of influence, they used words just like these: manipulative, sneaky, coercive. And that's a massive roadblock, isn't it? It stops so many of us before we even start. So the big shift here, the real key, is to change our whole mindset. It's not about learning tricks to corner someone into a yes. It's about becoming the kind of person that people want to say yes to, they're happy to, because they trust you and they see it's a win-win. Okay, so to understand how to build that kind of genuine influence, we need to get into a little bit of the science behind it. And that means we need to talk about the two systems that are pretty much always running the show inside your head. Now, this idea builds on some pretty famous work from the psychologist Daniel Kahneman, but the author gives us these amazing, easy-to-remember names. First, you've got the judge. That's your slow, careful, logical mind. And then, you've got the gator. The gator is fast, automatic, emotional, and it's always on. It's the first responder to literally everything. Okay, this is cool. You can actually feel this fight happening inside your own brain. Come on, try it with me right now. Look at the screen and say the color of each word out loud, not the word you're reading. Feel that little pause? That split-second struggle? That's your logical judge working like crazy to override your automatic gator, which just wants to read the word. It's way harder than it looks, right? Okay, now get ready for this, because this is the part that blows my mind every single time. Researchers estimate that our automatic unconscious gator is responsible for up to 95% of all our decisions and behaviors. Just let that sink in for a second. 95%. And that right there is what the book calls the mother of all misunderstandings. It's the biggest mistake we all make. We spend all this time preparing our logical arguments, our charts, our data, all for the judge. But guess what? The instinctual gator is the one with its hands on the steering wheel, actually driving the car. If you want to influence anyone, you have to talk to the gator first. Okay, so if the gator is in charge, how in the world do we talk to it? Well, it's not with spreadsheets and data, I'll tell you that. It's all about connection. And that leads us right into the art of charisma. And here we go with another fantastic paradox from the book. Most of us think charisma is about being the most interesting, most dynamic person in the room, the star of the show. But it's the total opposite. Real charisma, the kind that connects, comes from giving your full, undivided attention to other people. It's about making them feel like they're the only person in the world. So the book gives this technique a great name, shining. Let's say you're talking to a group of people. Instead of trying to talk to the whole crowd, just pick one person. Focus all your attention and energy on them for a complete thought. Really connect. Then you can shift to someone else. And that one-on-one connection, it's so powerful. You can feel the energy ripple through the whole room. All right, so you've made that connection with the gator. What's next? Well, now you've got to help shape how it sees the situation. And for that, we have an incredibly powerful tool, framing. I mean, this has to be one of the greatest examples of framing ever. When Steve Jobs wanted to hire John Scully from Pepsi, he didn't give him a PowerPoint about market share. He gave him this choice. He framed it as a mundane life selling sugar water versus a historic mission to change the world. How could anyone say no to that? That frame changed everything. So the book gives us 3 really practical frames we can use for just about anything. You can frame your idea as monumental, make it feel like a big, inspiring, world-changing mission. Or you can make it manageable, so simple and easy to do that it feels silly to say no. Or you can make it mysterious, spark their curiosity so they lean in and just have to know more. All right, let's move from the why to the how. Here are a couple of tools from the book you could literally put in your pocket and start using today. Oh, I love this one. It's so simple, but it's absolute magic. The next time you get a no, or you feel one coming on, just ask this question. What would it take? And just like that, the entire dynamic changes. You're not on opposite sides anymore. Suddenly, you're a team, working together to figure it out. And finally, sometimes the biggest thing holding us back is us. The author says one of the biggest lessons her students learn is just this, to ask for what they want, more often, more directly. It's amazing how many doors are already unlocked. We just have to get over ourselves and actually try the handle. Okay, so if you only remember 3 things from our chat today, make it these. First, talk to the gator. Influence is about connection and emotion first. Logic second. Make it easy, make it appealing. Second, to get attention, give attention. That is real charisma. It's all about making other people feel seen. And third, frame your world. The words you choose literally create the reality that people respond to. Look, the big message of this book is that influence isn't some secret magic trick for a chosen few. It's a superpower that every single one of us has, just waiting for us to use it for good. So, the only question left is, what are you going to do with it? Where have you seen this whole gator and judge battle play out in your own life? What's just one small thing you could try to reframe this week? And maybe the most important one, what's something you should just ask for? Seriously, the power is right there, in your hands.